Hey guys, Rex here, and welcome back to my Let's Play world. Today is episode 12, and I've got to say guys, your response to last episode was absolutely phenomenal. You guys seem to really love the blaze catching and the house time-lapse, which were really fun to make, and as you could tell by the end of the blaze catching I was pretty upset, but it was still a blast to do, and I'm glad you guys liked it. And I even got a new supporter as of the time of recording, on Patreon. So if you'd like to join them, you can find my Patreon page in the description if you want to support me. But you might be wondering something right now, and that is, why are you in third person right now? Well, that's because I've decided that today we're going to be doing something a little unique, and we are going to be doing the entire episode in third person. That's right. Now, I just wanted to try this out, just to do this for fun. I don't intend on doing this, for many episodes because you can't see my inventory or anything. But I thought it would be a little fun thing we could do, and, just the one time. But you might be wondering, how is this possible? Well, it's possible using Crushed Pixels Replay mod, which is not publicly available yet. I am currently a tester for it, but it will be available pretty soon. So I will put a link in the description, right, you got that right, to the website where you can find more information about that. But it is a really awesome mod, and I'd highly recommend looking into it. So, as usual, before we get started with today's project, I want to have a little chat to you guys about a couple things. The first one being that I might sound a little bit different, and that's because I've got a loose wire in my mic. I'm actually using a headset mic right now, so not super professional or anything, but I am looking at upgrading it because A, I want to upgrade it, and B, because of that loose wire. And I've had to finick with the mic a little bit, so it might be a little closer to my mouth, or it might sound a bit different. So that would explain why you're hearing that. But the other thing is that in this world, I'm thinking of doing a little bit of base redesigning here, and that's for a couple reasons. I'm not going to be tearing the whole place out and redoing the whole place, but I will be doing some significant changes here, and I'll tell you what the reasons are for that. The first one being this display board up here. This is meant to count the number of days that I've spent in my world, and I've realized that I'm probably going to need a 5th digit on it. And as you can see here, there's no real way to add a 5th digit without, making it look really silly. And so I'm going to be doing some tweaks to this room to, redesign parts of it so that I can fit that 5th digit in. Alright, another thing is these archways over here. These archways are way too small. They deserve to be bigger and easier to walk through, and they would look nicer if they were bigger. I could add more detail and stuff. The third reason, if we come through here, you can see is the elevator. The elevator, you've seen me fall down here a lot of times. It's just, I get Superlink complaining about it constantly, that it's super easy to fall when you press the button, and it's just not a very good design. So I'm going to be switching over to Cube Hamster's design, which is amazing, and it doesn't break like this one, even though there's only minor differences. He seems to have got it down. So we're going to be switching the elevator design, and that actually requires a lot more space than this one. So that's, why we need to do some redesigning. The final reason is a storage area. I'm going to be redoing the storage area a little bit. Like I said, I'm not going to be tearing the whole thing out because I found a superior solution to the one I have here, and it's going to be more advanced, and it's going to be super duper automated and amazing. So look forward to that. It's going to be really fun and really cool. But what are we going to be working on today? Well, I've picked up some stuff in my inventory, which you cannot see, unfortunately. But today we are going to be making a system for the pigman farm that we never finished. And because we need to get a proper way to kill the pigmen. Right now, we had a little platform for them to fall onto, and there was no automated way to do it. I couldn't AFK. I'd have to stand up there for a couple minutes, then walk down, pick up all the stuff, and then stand up there for a couple minutes, whatever. So today we're going to be adding a proper killing mechanism using iron golems. But unfortunately, this is going to use up all of my iron. So really soon we're going to have to work on a new iron solution because we're going to need a lot of iron from the storage room. But that's enough blabbing for today. Let's get right on into the Nether and let's get working. Alright, so I'm here in the Nether and you can see that up here we've got the pigman farm that is currently unfinished. And as you can see, since you've last seen it, I cleaned it up a little bit, removed some, all sorts of stuff I had around for the temporary setup that we had. I've also finished the second layer of platform, so no gas or magma, what are they called, magma cubes? I think magma cubes can spawn up there, which was really annoying because I actually got killed several times from gas that spawned up there. However, I did get a considerable amount of gas here, which is pretty good. So what are we going to be doing here? Well, in the original setup that this is based on, there is a bridge for the pigmen to come into the middle, and the pigmen fall, and they fall down and die, and there's actually a slime block mechanism that brings their XP back up to the player, and then the items are collected at the bottom. But we're going to be doing this a little bit differently. Where the heck are... Oh, I moved it on to this floor. I totally forgot. We're going to be doing this a little bit differently here. So, I actually want to do make a device which actually spits all the items into the portal and brings it into the overworld. Because that way, I can automate the process of, collecting all this stuff and putting it in my main base. I don't have to transport it, even though normally you don't need to transport it, but, I want to hook everything up together in my base. And so what we're going to be doing is we're just going to have a little module up here that spits the gold down, and it will fall down to the bottom, and then that's where it will be collected and shot through the portal. So to do that, we're just going to actually have, instead of one bridge like the original design, we're going to have 4. One coming from each side, coming from the middle layer. And then they're going to come into the middle where there's going to be a pod full of iron golems, and the pigmen will fall in to, the iron golem pod, and then they will die, and their stuff will be collected, and I'll have a little place to stand where I can gather the XP. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build most of that off camera, because doing this third-person thing is pretty difficult. Well, it's not pretty difficult, it just takes a lot of time. And so, yeah, I'm just going to do that all off camera, and I'll see you when I've got the golems in. Okay, minor progress update for you guys. Changed my mind about putting the golems in first. So as you can see, I've started to build the paths here, and I've opted to use redstone and some stone bricks to make it look nice, and the redstone really stands out, and I think that looks pretty cool. And you can see that here I'm adding a fence around the outside, and that's super important because one of the problems we had with the temporary setup that I was using is that pigmen would fall off the whole system here. They just fall down and land on the roof of the Nether and die, which you'd think wouldn't be a big deal, but what happens is, because they're angry, they actually, when they fall down, they anger all of the other pigmen that are on the ground, and then I have issues when I get on the ground, and then I can't de-aggro the pigmen, and it's really frustrating. So these fences basically stop them from being dumb and walking off the edge, and I need to add them on the top and bottom layers as well, but this is just the one in the middle layer, and then this little area in the middle is where the golems are going to be and where the pigmen are going to fall into. Okay, so something happened, and I think when the iron golem attacks the pigmen, they get aggroed. But it's weird because only half of them are aggroed. So I'm not sure what's going on here. But see, look at these guys. See, these guys are fine with me. None of these guys are mad. But these guys are. Very, very strange indeed. Well, I was about to put the golems in, and I put one in, and then some dumb guy got in the way. So let's see if we can block this off. Nope, nope. Okay, see, this guy I think is aggroing all the pigmen. Or something. See how only some of them are aggroed? Uh-oh. Let's do redstone. And then you can get rid of the sleeper. Okay. There we go. So, because this guy's killing them, we're causing problems here. So let's see, I don't have any blocks now. Let's just use cobblestone. Let's put in the golems. So we're going to be putting in, wow, I can't build golems. Okay, we're going to be putting in 16 golems, which is going to ensure that all the pigmen die fast enough and they won't be able to damage the golems. And the thing is, you might be wondering why we have, oh dang it, sorry mate. You might be wondering why we have these trapdoors and why there's redstone around them instead of just powering them from the bottom. Well, we want to be able to control the trapdoors, and the reason for that is, let's dig the block first. We want to control the trapdoors because when they're open, the pigmen will walk through here, and what happens when the pigmen are not mad at me, they will attack the golems and damage the golems, and obviously we don't want that because we want the golems to stay in there forever. And we don't want to have to replace them. But if the trapdoors are closed, the pigmen will not walk in because their AI will not tell them to walk in there because they know the trapdoor is closed. But then when the trapdoors are open, they just assume it's closed anyways and they walk right in. So with the ability to control the trapdoors basically gives us the ability to control whether they fall in, even though there's still a hole in the middle when these trapdoors are closed. And then that way they will not damage the golems. So it's easy as that. I'm going to finish sticking these golems in, and then I will see you at the bottom, the bottom part of this little golem area here, and we'll get ready to test this thing. Alright, I think we're ready to go test this thing. I had to grab some arrows back from my base because I didn't have any, so we can shoot some of these guys. But what we have here is we have a little chamber, as you saw last time, with the golems in. There's all 16 of them now. We've got some hoppers down at the bottom, just like we had before, to collect the stuff. And we'll be putting in the dropper and stuff later. But if we come up here, this is where I'm going to stand, you know, when we're done this area down here. There's a little hole here that you can see, and that's where the XP comes through. Let me eat up here, and I think it's all we have left to do really is test this thing. So hopefully there's no way for them to fall off. I double checked and there shouldn't be, but I don't know. If there is, then we'll have a problem on our hands. But I'm going to shoot one of them if I can see one. And incoming. Right. Oh, you know what? I forgot to open it, I think. There we go. There we go. So all sorts of pigmen are falling in there, shooting the golems around. And I'm getting lots of free XP. I'm about to go to 96 levels. And it appears to be working. I haven't heard any of the golems take damage yet, which is really good. Because the pigmen are mad at me, not the golems. Oh, I think I just heard some take damage. Well, let's check in the hoppers. Yeah, we're getting lots and lots of items right off the bat. Yeah, the golems are taking damage. Oh, you know why they're taking damage? It's from the zombies. So, I don't know. If I come down here, there's all sorts of stone bricks and stuff in these hoppers. But, other than that, I think everything is working out pretty well. So, I'm going to see if I can get these pigmen to de-aggro, and we'll finish up the job down here. Hello, dude. Alright, so it has been quite a while since my last cut, and actually since my last cut I have conceptualized, recorded, edited, and uploaded the trailer and the first episode for my new series called Drama, which stands for Duke and Rex's Amazing Minecraft Adventures. It's my new ultra-hardcore series based on Impulse and Skizzleman's Naked and Scared, which I'm doing with my good friend Duke. And you can check that out on my channel. I would really love if you check it out because it has been a blast to record, and I'm sure it's going to be very fun to keep doing, and I'm curious to see whether we're going to be completing the challenge successfully or not. But what have I done since the last cut? Well, I've just added a bit of redstone here. Actually, I should probably mention that also since my last cut I have edited all the previous footage for this, you know, rendered out the recordings, put in all the keyframes, blah 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 blah, and it has taken a long time. It took me around half an hour per clip to do each one. It's really time consuming. So that's one of the reasons I'm probably not going to be doing this again. But I did notice some kinks with this that you probably noticed because you could see it and I couldn't. The first one being that all the pigmen actually, when I would stand here, would group up above my head and not just go right in the middle. And so I was wondering how I could fix that, and what I've done is I've moved my sort of sitting point 1 block in. So it doesn't solve the problem entirely, but it basically negates it, so it's not really a problem at all. So yeah, now it's 1 block in, and I've also moved it down 1 block so I don't pick up any of the crap from the pigmen, like the gold swords and stuff I don't want. And the other problem being chickens, and I haven't solved that problem yet, but I know how I can solve it, because of a what are they called? Chicken jockey, blah, 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 words. A chicken jockey zombie pigman, there we go, falls in here, and the golems kill the zombie pigman. The chicken is just going to sit in there, and then they'll accumulate in here and cause problems and lay eggs in the hoppers and all sorts of weird stuff. So, in the future, hopefully I'll bring an ocelot up in here, and he will run around and kill the chickens, assuming he doesn't get pushed around by the golems. So I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to be doing about that. I might add like a release valve maybe that like shoots all the chickens out or something. I have no idea how to get rid of the chickens right now. But right now that's not too much of a problem. If it is, the temporary solution at least is to throw a harming potion in there, which will damage everything in there and then kill the chickens, and then throw some healing potions in to get the heal the golems back up. But what's all this redstone? Very simple stuff. I just put the 2 hoppers going out down into these droppers, and there do actually need to be 2 because otherwise it doesn't go fast enough. And basically there's some comparators and whatever. You can see them, but I can't. And it hooks up the just the droppers. They auto fire basically. And the thing is, since there's actually an odd number of hoppers, there's 9 hoppers. One of the hoppers, there's 1 more hopper going into this one, the one that I'm standing right beside. But for some reason, more items go into the other one, even though there's more hoppers going into this one. It might have to do just with where the pigmen are falling down. I'm not sure. But I've hooked up the comparator to the one that's supposed to be getting more items, but is actually not getting more items. So I don't know what I'm going to do about that, or if I am going to do something about that, because it's not really a big deal. And yeah, that's pretty much all I've done. I'm not going to worry about making it pretty yet. The other thing I've done, of course, is add this pressure plate so that I don't have to pull the lever when I stand there. Just, you know, simple redstone torch tower goes up and gets the it opens the trapdoors. There we go. But as far as aesthetics go, I'm probably not going to be doing that today because I'm running out of time for this episode. Like I said, it's been taking a really, really long time. So, let's just wrap this up by giving you a quick run through on how this works. Let's see if we can find a target. And then we can jump on here. And then you can see the problem with the pigmen standing on the side is a little bit solved. So, that's actually all I'm going to have for this episode. I know it ran a little bit short, but I'm running out of time, or I am out of time, rather, and I'm really tired because this has been taking me a long, long time to do. So, if you enjoyed the third-person episode, then please leave a like on the video. It would be much appreciated. It just shows me that you like the idea, even though I'm probably not going to be doing it more again. Actually, leave a comment in the description. Tell me what you thought, if it was, like, dumb because you can see my inventory, or if you thought it was pretty cool. But other than that, thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you next time. Rex out.